How's everybody doing tonight? Way better than I expected. All right, that's good. For those of you that don't know what's going on, I'll give you a real brief overview. My name is Alex Stokes. I'm a stand-up comedian and author here in Knoxville, and I also teach stand-up comedy at UT. It's the only class in the entire country like it, and this is my fifth year teaching it. And so tonight, the way my class works, it's an 8-week non-credit course every Tuesday night for 8 weeks. 4 nights in the classroom, 4 nights they have to perform at different venues downtown Knoxville, usually bars and breweries. Because I like to sit there and drink and watch them fail. So that's great, it's the best job I've ever had. But tonight is their very first performance. I've only got 6 students tonight. We had a couple that couldn't make it. I've got 3 that have done this before, and 3 that tonight will be their very first time ever on stage. So, if you guys don't care, fake laugh as much as you can so they don't make them feel bad. Even if they're terrible, just fake it. They won't be, but they might, just in case. I'm just kidding. They're all just staring at me like, why did I take this class? But yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and bring up our first performer tonight. This guy's actually taken my class a few times, and if you're in town tomorrow night, this is kind of cool. I feel pretty proud. In less than a year, he's already out doing his own shows, and he's going to be right here tomorrow night doing your 1-year anniversary show. Guys, give him a huge round of applause for that. That's a pretty big feat for 1 year. But I've taken him on the road with me and opened for me in shows in Alabama and other places, and very, very funny guy. Oh, by the way, this is not going to be a clean show. I'm just going to let you know. They might be after this, but the first one's not going to be. I'm just going to get that out of the way. If you haven't got your food yet, it's probably a good thing. Guys, give it up for the one and only Sean Dills.
How's everybody doing tonight? My name's Sean Dills, and don't worry, my parents have already told me I look like a nerdy Haggard, or according to my girlfriend, a homeless Weird Al. People also say, Sean, you look like a couch potato Jesus, which is fine. Me and Jesus have a lot in common, with very few differences. Like the biggest difference between me and Jesus was actually pretty well hung. So, I'm in an interracial relationship, dating a beautiful black woman. Some problems come with that. Like, one of the biggest problems I found, you found out your grandmother's racist. One of those things, so my best friend and girlfriend are both black, and my grandmother has yet to call either one of them by their actual names. And anybody who's seen Roots, you kind of know that's like racism 101. My best friend is named BJ. She calls him BJ, which is fine. She's old. I'll let that one slide. My girlfriend is named Tasia. She calls her Steve. Which ain't even time. I introduced my girlfriend to my grandparents. Like, hey, this is my girlfriend Tasia. My grandfather's like, oh, Tasia, T-A-Z-I-A? Fuck, yeah, that's right. Look over at my grandmother. She's like, not that Steve. I ain't going to say that. Yes, people ask me, Sean, what's the biggest difference with being with a white woman versus being with a black woman? The biggest difference for me is when I'm sleeping with black women, where I'll play some R&B, something romantic. When I'm having sex with white women, I'll be fucking them to the Goopy movie soundtrack. But I'm trying to spice up the bedroom. Like the other day, I sent 40 sex positions to my girlfriend, 40 pictures of different sexual positions. I was like, pick 5, we'll try those out. She does. She sends me the 5 back she wants to do. The first 3, pretty normal stuff. Like, okay, got to 4 and 5, starting to worry a little bit. Her 4th pick, she picked pegging. Pegging is where your girlfriend puts on a strap-on and fucks you with it. Ray just got that. So I'm sweating bullets because I've dated her for over a year and a half, and this is the first time she's ever mentioned anything about me penetrating my fucking cinnamon ring. So I'm like, you know what? Let's just pretend we didn't see number 4. Let's just move on to number 5. Her 5th pick. She picked pegging. She fucking picked it twice. What? This whole time, I was looking her in the eyes. I thought that was love. That's lust. I thought she had images of her getting married to me in her head. No, those were images of her slapping my fucking cheeks. People ask me, Sean, did you let her do it? Sean, did you let her take your butthole cherry? I'm not going to dignify that with an answer. However, you may notice I sit down a little fucking slower than everybody else around here. But I love my girlfriend. Like, before I started dating her, I dated a bunch of crazy women. Like, one lady, she claimed she had a demon living inside her. Had to let her go. She was clearly taken. One girl said she only dreams of murder and genocide. What the fuck do you say to that? I was like, well, what race? My favorite race, I sleep next to her. Also, a little bit, was hoping she was going to say Eskimos. One girl, every time we had sex, she'd make these like animalistic sounds, you know, making like all these crazy fucking animal sounds. So the whole time I was confused. I was like, should I be scared? Or is this the most erotic version of Old MacDonald I've ever heard? This one girl, every time we had sex, she would bite her lip and close one eye. So the whole time we're doing it, I'm trying not to laugh, because I'm thinking, this bitch about to drop the dopest Popeye impression. Which, oddly enough, never killed my boner. In fact, after a month of dating her, just started keeping cans of spinach by my bed. Just in case. Still on?
It died.
That killed your boner.
Anyway, going along.
Looks like that might need some spinach itself. So I went on a date with this one girl. We went on like 4 or 5 dates. You know, everything was going good. You know, we made each other laugh. Everything was going great. Until one day, she told me this really sad story. She told me that when she was young, when she'd get in trouble, sometimes her dad would kick her while he would wear boots. I was like, oh man, that's so sad. What a fucking asshole. Fuck that guy. But then she gets mad at me about it. Like, how dare you say that about my dad? Fuck you. You're a piece of shit. Fucking asshole. And just went off on me about it. I was like, okay, it's okay. Calm down there, boot prince. It's all right. She wanted to sit there and call me an asshole. Fuck. But it's okay. I learned my lesson. Because the next time we went on a date, she told me another sad story. She said when she was young, when she'd get in trouble, her parents would make her eat spicy peppers. If she threw that up, she had to eat that too. But I was like, hey, I ain't gonna say shit this time. I was like, well, you know, your parents sound like lovely people. Can't wait to meet them. But who would do that to their kids? Make them eat spicy peppers as punishment? Like, what the fuck was their parents? The creators of Fear Factor? Alright, that was a good joke. I'm good. Alright. You ready?
Oh, you're done?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Okay. Yeah, come on. We good? Oh. Alright, so your next performer, this guy is a one-of-a-kind. He has actually taken every single one of my classes that I've taught over the last 4 years. He either really likes me or I suck at teaching this class. I'm not sure which one. I don't know what he's going to do. He wears costumes, he brings props, sometimes he sings. I have no idea what's going to come out of his mouth. So there's really no other introduction except for, hey, give it up for Ray Ford. That is very appropriate music for Ray.
Hey, Skybox, how you doing tonight? Come on, we can do better than that. How you doing tonight? That's better. Good night. I tell you, good to be here tonight. As you can tell, I just came back from a golf game. What the heck? You can wear whatever the heck you want in a golf link. Nobody cares. I'm going to tell you something about me you ought to know first, though. I was born a poor white child. Hey, got it. Well, the trip to Africa fixed that. It was quite a sunburn. Anyway, okay, strap in. Doesn't get any better. Here's something about another thing about me. This is my mental condition. You can tell. I am bipolar, ADD, and autistic. Yeah. Everyone up and down hated me. They started calling up Kevorkian on the spirit form. I ain't kidding. Nothing. Okay. I'll tell you, my mind goes in such random places all the time, and half the time I have no control over it. One day, out of the clear blue, I started thinking about kidney stones. I don't know why either, but here's my question. Actually, this question is directed toward the ladies in the crowd, right, Sean? I'm kidding. Hey, maybe he's a transvestite. I don't know. Here's my question before I get myself kicked out of here. What is considered worse, a kidney stone or giving birth? Oh, room full of mutes, I see. Here's why I say that. So I've asked that question seriously to some people, and they've actually told me it's giving birth is worse. Now my mind can't help it. I start saying, what, did you give birth to a porcupine? Was the C-section done with a chainsaw? Because last I checked, babies do not form in the kidneys and proceed to cut them. These are not stones. These are not stones, people. They are ninja Death Stars. They cut through muscle sinew, blood vessels. I mean, it's a level of torture. Even the Nazis would go 9, 9, 9, 10, 11, 9, 9, 9. Okay, that's a Sesame Street joke. Let's get with it, people. I ain't the only one that watched that show. Then again, maybe everyone's too busy with that Common Core crap now. I mean, even the town of Sesame Street's going, why am I still here? I'll tell you, this world's gone to pot, hasn't it? There's some really stupid people. If you want to find them, all you have to do is watch America's Funniest Home Videos. But when you call a pharmacy, I'm sure people have called the pharmacy, and you notice when you call them, they say, if this is a medical emergency, please dial 911. Like we weren't taught that in kindergarten. Come on now. PBS used to put that on their commercials. But okay, fine. If you want to go that route, let's come up with some alternative 911 numbers. Hey, if we're going to talk about inclusiveness, let's get serious about it. How about for dyslexia, it's 119. And for the mentally retarded, it's you can tell I'm just killing it tonight.
4 times now, right? I've told you not to do that anymore.
What the heck? Anyway, moving right along. along now. Here's a few jokes that might not get me kicked out of here. I don't know. I apologize. This part of the act is a little raw, so.
Say it. Just say it.
How come? So, you know, when it comes to artists, I'm an artist myself, and if you're an artist in here, you know what I'm about to say. We like to improvise. We like to come up with new stuff. And if we're stuck in a certain rut, we hate that. We want to find a creative way out of it. Now, there was a story about an artist who actually had no arms and no legs. Now you might be wondering, how the heck did she paint or anything? Now, most people would be stumped, but she... Yeah. As you can see, I don't show favoritism. I offend everyone. Hey, if you want to shoot me, you gotta get in line. I'll be halfway out of town by the time you're done. Anyway, moving right along now. Here's an interesting story. A condemned man is walked to the gallows. He's doomed to be hanged. But when they get to the gallows, they realize that the noose is missing. It's been stolen, but they don't have any others. The criminal infamously said, "Well, no news is good news." Wow, even the crickets were quiet on that one. Well, I think we're just about at the end of my line here. But before I go, I want to thank you guys for coming out. And you didn't have to do that, but I know there's so much to do on a Tuesday night in downtown Knoxville. That's a joke. But you know, I wanted to talk a little bit about one of my favorite movies. I'm sure you all know who this guy is. Okay, apparently everyone's blind too. Hello, it's Dumbo. Yeah. But I'll tell you one thing. I always wanted to see an elephant fly. I don't mean from a catapult. What I mean is, well, of course I've never seen one, but I've seen a dragonfly. I've seen a housefly. I've seen a horsefly. I've seen a peanut stand. I've heard a rubber band. I've seen a needle that winked its eye. But I'll be done singing about everything when I see an elephant fly. Seen a fork string, I heard a diamond ring. I seen a polka dot railroad tie. But I'll be done singing about everything when I see an elephant fly. I've seen a clothes horse, a American buck, and they tell me that a man made a vegetable truck. Now I didn't see that. I only heard. But just to be comfortable, I'll take your word. I heard a five-side cat. I saw a big ball bat, and I just laughed till I thought I'd die. But I'll be done singing about everything when I see an elephant fly. When I see an elephant fly. Thank you, everyone. Glad to be here. Good night.
My next student coming up tonight is his very, very first time. He's one of my three that is his very first time up here, and I'm very excited to see you. You ready? He doesn't know he's next. I don't think he's looking around like, is somebody else going? It's you, Fleet.
I'm number 4.
No, you're number 3.
No one signed up.
Huh? It's you. Are you ready?
Sure.
Okay. He's like, shit, it is me. Okay. This music is so weird. I've been doing stand-up for 12 years. I've never had that kind of music. I don't think that one's right. Yeah, so you're yelling. Guys, give a huge round of applause for Philippe Hansen. Did I say it right?
You said it better than most of the nurses in this town who call me Felipe Hansen. It gives me a cramp in my back, and I go back to them. I want to say that I'm Felipe from Knoxville, but then I think that they are the ones handling the needle when I go there, or doing the prostate check, and others shut up. Because they might get a revenge on me. So that we fix it, I'm not French. I'm actually Belgian. But every time I meet someone here, it's like, I love your accent. Shit, where is that going to go? So I have to tell him, oh yeah, do you know where it is? From? Are you French? I don't know. So I have to say, no. And it stops there because it triggers their geography. I can see sweat. I can see geography 101. I can see high school in them. Their eyes, their pupils dilate. It's a catastrophe. So I tell them I'm from Belgium, and that doesn't help. Because if I tell them Brussels, they think about the sprout. That might help. But that's the end of it. So anyway, how did this Belgian end up here? The year is 1994. 1994, that's where his name is Larsen. No, 1994. Nelson Mandela was named president of South Africa. Another very famous story. Tonya Harding asked her husband to kick another skater, one of those ice skaters, in the knee. 4 guys kicked in the knee. Nancy Kerrigan, you remember that story? 4 guys, they managed to just hurt her, barely. That's in the US, I'm sorry, that's the only fact that was happening in the US. Meanwhile, I was in Belgium hacking on this little Macintosh in my room. And the thing was like 9-inch, you know, 1 Ron Jeremy size. Today you can buy laptops, they're like almost 2 Ron Jeremy size. So I'm sitting there happy. My wife comes with a big smile. I'm like, ooh, you're gonna get lucky tonight. No, it was not. She said, she was taking a year off, and we had a child. It's not my wife, it's actually the mother of my child. We are not married. She comes, she said, I think I found the perfect job. I had to stay serious. I had to, sorry, you can still hear it? Yeah, okay. I had to keep her face straight and go, oh, this sounds amazing. And I thought, shit, what about childcare? What about me doing the dishes? What about cooking? This is the end of the world. And she said, I found a job that is exactly what I need. Phytoplankton in Antarctica. As a matter of fact, she had a PhD in oceanography, so it did match. And I said, all right, excellent. Where's it? Italy. She goes, California. The excitement came up. I was like, California? Beaches? Pamela Anderson? 2 puppies? This could be sexy. We might be moving there. And so I said, where in California? She said, Santa Cruz. I thought, Santa Cruz? I see the t-shirt, Santa Cruz skateboards. Oh, he's gonna be awesome. And then after a long search, 1994, yeah, you're modern. I go on something called Alta Vista, whatever, and 4 hours later, I found a thing, and Santa Cruz is really about unshaved lesbians. And there are no dolphins in the water over there, there are seals. So many seals that they get eaten by great white sharks. So that's Santa Cruz for you. So we ended up going to Santa Cruz. We go in the airplane, we decide we go there. In the airplane, I get an asthma crisis. And I thought about today, this flight attendant gave me a puff. Took the puff. You know that today, she would go to jail for giving me a puff in a COVID era. At first we had to remove my mask, I'm not sure, I would be dead anyway. So we arrived in Santa Cruz, and think that I'm missing a whole section, I'm sorry, that's the problem.
It's funnier because it sounds like there's seals in the background.
It's the seed, it sounds like the seed. Sorry, I think that's the end of my content. And I will close. So yeah, really quick story in Shanasakru. I go to the hospital, it's always about hospital here. I go to the hospital first time, I need to check something. You don't need to know. It's bad anyway. And this woman goes, oh, where are you from? And I thought, shit, again. And I said, from Belgium. Oh, do you know Jean-Claude Van Damme? I said, absolutely. We are 3 guys meeting the bus regularly. She goes, really? I said, yeah, we are 3 people in Belgium. The bus driver, Jean-Claude Van Damme, and I. She didn't seem even annoyed by this sentence. And I'm like, okay, all right. So it is. And I said, no, the guy is terrible. She said, oh, well, I have all his tapes. Okay. Again, I had the fear of the prostate check. It goes back. It's always about being checked with the prostate. And that would be it for tonight. I'm sorry.
First time ever up on stage. And you guys are challenging me with dance tonight. So guys, give a huge round of applause for Rafael Ramon. Rodriguez. You sent me the wrong name.
He said, that's what he said.
Rodriguez.
That's what he wants to go by, I guess. That's what he told me.
Out of the class. He sucks. Right. Columbia.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
Great. Thank you, Alex.
You're welcome. Whatever you want to say.
My first teacher in standards comedy.
There you go.
I'm so pleased. Well, I'm looking for my script. I cannot find it, but I'm feeling myself so sexy.
That was a good one.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
That was a good one.
Here it is. Thank you. Here it is my script. Oh no. Potatoes, tomatoes, bananas, strawberries, panty liners. Oops. It's my grocery list. Well, they told me 7 minutes or 5 minutes or 7. Okay? So this is my first time here, and 5 or 7 minutes reminds me my wife. She always is telling me, in 5 minutes the food will be ready. In 5 minutes I get dressed. And even at night in the bedroom, she said, hey, just 5 minutes. So my name is Rafael Roman Rodriguez. For those who want to learn Spanish, you need to practice the letter R in Spanish. Rafael Roman Rodriguez. Okay? As you already, some of you already know, I'm from Mexico. I'm Mexican from Mexico.
Mexico.
Yeah, from Mexico.
Mexico.
No, Mexico.
Mexico.
Because you know one very famous politician here in the United States, when somebody said, I'm Mexican, they say, what part of Mexico? Or somebody said, I'm from Venezuela, and he asked, in what part of Mexico is Venezuela? Or so he said, the Puerto Ricans are the worst Mexicans here in the States.
I'm Puerto Rican. That's not true.
Okay,
That's not true.
It's not true for you.
I'm Puerto Rican.
Okay, well, I'm going to tell you about my coming to this country. I came here in 2004. coming from, you already know, from Mexico, and one of my hard things was to learn English. I'm still learning English. So if you don't laugh, it's because you don't understand the joke. And if you don't understand the joke, it's because you don't speak Spanish, okay? So, I came here for one of my cousins, and he wanted to change his name. He wanted to be called George, in Spanish, Jorge. But soon after that, he was really happy with his new name. He thought that his new name was Horse. So I was learning English with him. And one day we went to a restaurant, and I asked for a bowl of soap instead of bowl of soup. And then, at the finish of the dinner, I asked for a snake instead of snack. So, and somebody asked me, are you here in the States for good? Well, I tell him, no, well, I'm not here for bad. So, I was learning English with the IPA, International Phonetic Alphabet. Maybe you already know that. But when I came here to Tennessee, I learned that IPA is the brand of a beer. And also I was learning standard American English. The one you hear on the news, broadcasting, radio, they say that it's a very clear and well-pronounced English. But I arrived here in East Tennessee, and I couldn't understand anything. Because instead of saying, for instance, I was learning that to say 5, or right, they say 5, ras. So it was really difficult for me to learn it. So one of the things that I did was, I usually don't eat breakfast.
Wow.
But after that, in order to learn East Tennessee English, I decided to eat breakfast every morning with my senior citizens at Cracker Barrel. And also watch on TV the Hillbilly show. So, even now, I'm still learning English, and I'm gonna follow the 5 minutes rule because my wife don't speak too much, and I obey. You know, with my wife, I have a really low pressure because she's short. But I'm happy with her. So they say that some of us Mexicans are the first generation Mexicans here in the state. They are hard workers, they are really punctual, but the next generation, they call us Mexicans because they come to see a lot of mess. So well, for me, it's all right now. I gotta go because
Adios, amigos.
because my wife is in the hospital, is in intensive care. She's a nurse.
If you can, my wife would be so much happier.
Yeah, they didn't get it. They didn't get it.
No. I give up. I'm not getting paid for tonight, so I'm not doing anything good. All right, guys, we got two of my students left. You guys ready for your next comedian? It's getting sad over there on this side. One guy. We really do appreciate you guys staying tonight because they really. For me, it was great because I get to drink and get paid for this to watch this, and they thought they were just going to perform for themselves. So this is awesome. All right, guys, your next performer tonight. Give a huge round of applause. She literally just flew in. She's a flight attendant. Flew right in from California just to do this, which I'm sorry, that was a bad mistake. Give it up for Eileen Lloyd.
This is my hotel bill. Sorry, this is not a speech. Yeah, so on the airplane, I'm like, I think I need a little more practice. Okay, so my name is Eileen, and I am a wine connoisseur. Okay, I'm a wino, whatever. So, lately, you know, so I love wine, but in my mature age, I think wine's affecting me kind of differently these days. You know, like the other day, I was drinking a glass of Merlot, and all right, 2 glasses. Okay, 3 glasses, whatever. So, I'm drinking the wine, having a good time, and all of a sudden my legs get my water. I'm like, what the heck? I must be allergic to this stuff. So, I'm thinking, I don't know. I better look online and see if I can find out how to stop drinking something I love. So I looked up how to stop drinking something I love. And so I'm looking up and it says, well, it's easy. Just substitute something else like soda, lemonade, methamphetamines. You know, just substitute. Oh. So I substitute Cabernet. That'll do it. So different, right? So I substitute Cabernet, and that was going fine until like one night when I was drinking 3 glasses, whatever. My speech was getting kind of funny, and I'm like, this is weird. I'm kind of slurring my words. I'm like, all I remember was saying, "Don't worry about it." Everybody's like, okay. So I decided I can't drink that anymore. So now I switched to Tito, and I'll let you know how that goes. Wait. So I was thinking, what if wine could help you not drink too much? And wine could talk to you, like say wine was a woman, and her name was Mary Love. How cool would that be? She'd be like a friend. She'd be like, Eileen, you know when you drink, you don't drink wine, you sip it. You gotta sip it. And when you don't be mixing those niggas, don't be mixing those niggas, because you know you gotta keep it all with the family. Are you gonna be hanging out with my sisters? Cabernet and Shiraz. You can even hang out with my cousins.
Moscato.
Chardonnay and Moscato? Yeah. Moscato, Rosé. I'll even let you hang out with that rich bitch Champagne because she got money. But let me tell you, just the one drink with her because she got, oh my God, she be just twerking those bubblies trying to tickle everybody. It's just not pretty.
Hey.
But you do not hang out with that SOB Jack Daniels, I am telling you. If you do, you're like going down. I'm thinking, what's wrong with Jack Daniels? I mean, you know, she said, Jack and I go way back. As a matter of fact, I got a picture of Jack. This is Jack. Yeah, he loved 2 shots in the nude.
Hey, that's my dad.
Yep. So Jack and I, we was in love, and we had little blackberry babies. We named them all Moonshine, and they were sweet. Yeah, they were sweet. But then one day, my friend, Boone's Farm Strawberry Hill, my good friend from high school, she called me up and said, yeah, it's got a girls trip. And I was like, okay. And she said, it's going to Margaritaville. So who do you think would meet in Margaritaville? Mr. Tequila Man. Oh yeah, Mr. Tequila Man. He was smooth and spicy. So Mr. Tequila Man, he's out here in love with my Boone's Farm Strawberry Hill friend. And he's like, oh yeah. He's like, oh, okay, bonito, señorita. Let's make some margaritas. You got strawberries, and you got the margaritas, and you go, and you got strawberry margaritas. So that's how strawberry margaritas came about. And so then so after the strawberry margaritas, you know, Mr. Tequila Man, he don't happy with just one, and he don't happy with dos. He needs tres. So he called that dirty martini, and they had a threesome. And before I knew it, I was sucking my dirty martinis off. What can I say? I like to get things. So, I've Daniel's heart. Does he look heartbroken? Yeah. He started hitting the bars real hard with Jimmy Dean. Oh yeah, they were doing weddings, bar mitzvahs, divorce parties, you name it. And they were hitting him hard. But then that dirty, stinking AA police came in and kicked everybody out. And that's when they put their French on show. So I called Jack Daniels days later, and I said, Jack, let's get back together. But he had already met that red-headed hoe fireball. They were making little fireballs. Yeah, it's too late. So, Eileen, if you want to be drinking responsibly, remember, you got it. Don't be mixing the booze. Make sure you sip. And go check out that tequila man. He knows how to party.
Riley Lloyd. All right, we're down to our last one. Just one more time for those of you, if you guys are ever interested in taking this class, it's called Stand-Up Comedy, a Crash Course at UT, in the non-credit program. And it's a lot of fun. If you guys are around, and if you go to my website, it's thebeercomedian.com. If you go to my website, you'll be able to follow where they're going to be over the next few weeks. And you'll be amazed at the difference between tonight, their first performance, and their last one. Which the last one is always at Schultzbrow Brewing Company, outside, and it's usually 150 to 200 people at that show. So, which they all just shit their pants when I said that. So, but yeah, it's really cool to follow. But if you're ever interested in signing up, it's an 8-week class. Next one starts in April. It's a lot of fun. So, I very rarely, in the 4 years I've been doing this, get somebody that's already been doing stand-up comedy for a long time, or for a while, or ever at all. But every once in a while, and this is, I guess, the second time, I've had a comedian actually take my class, which is really cool. She runs her own open mic here in Knoxville, so if you're interested in doing stand-up without taking my class, go to you're still doing Brickyard, right? On Sunday nights, Brickyard, and she can tell you about it too if you want to ask her about it. But guys, give a huge round of applause for the very funny Amanda Cruel.
Thank you so much. Keep it up for Alex Stokes. Keep it up, as in clap. Yeah. He set this whole shit up. I mean, this whole wonderful thing. I was just gonna try and be cool wearing the sunglasses. They're just brand new sunglasses, and they cost like $80, so I really wanted to show them off. Anyway, thank you, Alex Stokes, for pointing out that my name is Amanda Cruel. And yes, Cruel is my real last name, but it's spelled with a K, so that makes it better, right? I actually was thinking about this the other day. Like, there's surely people who are like relatives or like distant descendants of Hitler, right? And if you knew someone whose name was Hitler, they were a child, you'd want to change their name. So you wouldn't have to grow up with the name Hitler. And there was a girl I worked with at Blockbuster back home, and she had originally been named Sarah Hitler, but her parents had pity on her, so they changed her name to Hittler. So, still Hitler, but slightly better. Someone called me Mrs. Cruel the other day. Mrs. Cruel, and that's not offensive because they think I'd be dumb enough to get married. It's offensive because they think I'd be dumb enough to choose to change my name to Cruel. I would never do that. My mom knew better. Her last name is Miano, and she never changed it to Cruel, and that's why none of my passwords are secure. Anyway, I do like my mom. I love her just the way she is. Thousands of miles away. Anyway, has anyone here ever heard the term nominative determinism? Nominative determinism. So that's basically that means you guys are cool that you haven't heard about this. Nominative determinism is when your name sort of leads to define what you do for a living, right? So if your name is Art and you become an artist, your name is Doug and you become a grave digger or something. So I decided to lean into this, and the first job that I got in this field was as a dominatrix. Amanda Cruel, Mistress Cruel. It sounds perfect, right? So I got a job at this place called Mistress Jasmine's in New York City. And I was so excited, it was my first night. And I went there and they had some, the guys get to come in and interview you and see if you're the one they want. And the guy's like, hey, what's your name? Where are you from? And I think what I was supposed to say was, you don't deserve to know my fucking name, you piece of shit. It doesn't fucking matter where I come from. Fuck you, lick my boots. Of course, what I said was, oh, I'm Amanda. I'm actually from the Midwest. I just moved here. I really like it, though. They did not ask me to come back. The next thing that I did, though, was politics. Makes sense, right? Don't vote nice, vote cruel. And I did get places in that. I actually ran the Bernie campaign here in 2015, 2016. But I got kicked off for sexually inappropriate conversation and creating drama. So, of course, with that kind of reputation, I went into comedy. That's what you gotta do. Anyway, I saw a new doctor yesterday, a new primary care physician, and in the forms they have you fill out, it says to write your family medical history. So under dad, I wrote, Alzheimer's. Under mom, I wrote COPD. And they had a section for brother/sister. I have one sibling, that's my sister Jessica. So I wrote down under conditions, medical conditions, I wrote spoiled brat. The doctor did not say anything about that though. And I really, honestly, I call her spoiled brat because it hurts too much to call her successful. Anyway, it's my sister's birthday today. Yeah, she's 34. We don't get along that much as adults, but sometimes as kids we used to have fun. We used to play this game. Honestly, this is kind of embarrassing, but we would pretend that we were poor. We'd get like baguettes, bread, and cut them up into pieces. No, not cut them up, tear them up. Never mind. Failed. Okay. So my sister had a stuffed animal named Cowie. The stuffed animal cow, she wouldn't go anywhere without it. Did you guys ever have stuffed animals that you were really attached to? You wouldn't leave with? Who was yours? It didn't have a name.
Ray brought his on stage tonight.
Yeah. So my sister's was Cowie. We couldn't leave the house without Cowie. We did leave the house, and 10 minutes later, 30 minutes later, up to 45 minutes later, we had to turn around and go get Cowie. I was never really into stuffed animals that much as a kid. Honestly, my favorite stuffed animal was turkey at Thanksgiving. Anyway, I don't have any kids. It's best for everybody. And I've realized that it's better to have pets than kids, right? The thing is, you do have to clean up their poop for longer, but they're always happy to see you. And they're never going to tell you, I hate you, Mom. And I said that to my mom, so that is something I'm scared of. The other thing is they're never going to tell the police that you're molesting them. Your pets. I'm just kidding, I don't molest my pets. I make love to them. Anyway, it's so good to learn new stuff. That's what we call it. I'm going to close on what I think are some fun facts. If you take the term slot machines, you can take all the letters in slot machines, mix them up, rearrange them. You know this one?
I think so.
And you get lost cash in them. Yeah. And if you mix up all the letters in Clint Eastwood, you get old West action. This is true, you can try this at home later. But what I thought was really funny, if you mix up all the letters in the post office, you get somebody else's mail. Who knew? All right, give it up for Alex Stokes and all the other comics who've been here tonight. It's been a lot of fun.
Keep it going for Amanda Cruel. All right, once again, thank you guys so much for staying tonight. We really appreciate it. Make sure you check them out, check it out. Also, let's give a huge round of applause for Rick Canatelli, the best karaoke DJ in town. Which, when's it starting? Like right now?
Yeah, it's 8 o'clock.
As soon as 8 o'clock. If you guys like karaoke, this guy, He has every song you can imagine. He's the best in town. So, a big, huge round of applause to Skybox. Thank you, Noah, for taking care of. Make sure you take care of him. Thank you guys again for staying. We really appreciate it. Good job, guys. We got that first one out of the way.
Yeah.
You aren't fucking paying attention to this shit, are you? All right. You all fell. All right. Thank you all again. Have a good night. Bye.